enlightening session. And about cancers, first, I think the cancer used to be, cancer means deathbed. But these days, you get to reach so many return backs after cancers, and they're successful people. And luckily, for cancer survivors, a lot of them are Bollywood actors and actresses. And when they survive, so it's a success story. For example, Yuvraj Singh, and she's a cancer survivor. So having said that, it's my session now, and so a little bit about me. I'm an ex-National Defense Academy pass out, ex-naval officer, and one thing which we learn in Navy is a ship is a lady. One of the reasons a ship is a lady is irrespective of however big the wave may be, the ship continues to go forward. So which is what I saw my mother, the first woman I came across, irrespective of whatever problem I had in my life, not only would I be made to go forward, the family would go forward. So that's what women are about. But for that to happen, a lady has to be a woman of substance. So that's what so I have about 24 years of experience. Started my career, civilian career, selling ceasefire on the streets of Delhi. Moved to something which I love, copywriting. I've done copywriting as an advertising agency guy, contract advertising, stuff like that. The money pulled me into the IT world, and ever since 1994 onwards, I've been in the IT world. And started doing my own consulting about 11 years back. So I do consulting, I do teaching, I do trainings, I do writing. I'm writing a book about a girl who was hated by her own father, whose father almost killed her. Mafia dons tried to kill her three times, and now she's a very successful businesswoman of the world. So I'm writing a book. It's a true story, but it's going to be a fictitious account. So having seen a lot of women in my life, been blessed with 2 beautiful daughters, and my own life was transformed by all ladies. First, my nani, who taught me how to write English, and my mother. My sister made me an etiquette person. My wife is my pivot in life foundation. My daughters. So, I'm a tennis player. When I got twin daughters, I was so thrilled that I'll play tennis with them. But when they became 12 years of age, they said, Papa, we hate that damn tennis. We want to dance. All that we want to do is dance. So, I had bought tennis rackets for them and all this, and I junked them. I gave it away. Anyways, having said that, let's move on to my presentation. It's on woman of substance. What does a woman of substance mean? Mira, woman of substance. So a little bit about woman of substances. So we keep hearing, in fact, woman of substance. So the women of substance that we've been coming across, incidentally, the first lady to be recognized as a saint is also from India, Mother Teresa, Pope. So that's the power of the women in our world, actually. So from being a saint to actually being Indra Nooyi, who foresaw that, so one of the reasons she became the chairman is she sold a very profitable part of Pepsi at a time when it was doing well. So she sold it at a very high price. And when, after a couple of months, she foresaw recession, she bought that. So she bought the same business back at 1/10 the price. Saved a lot of money. She's the first one who foresaw that there would be a problem, a health problem of drinking soda drinks in my nation, in her country, which is USA, but the same problem would not be there in Asia. So she foresaw that, and for that, you needed a lady there. And so a soft drink, incidentally, you know how Pepsi started? Because way back in the 18th century, pharmacists in the US, as part of customer delight, used to offer drinks for their customers. So this pharmacist used to make a special drink whose formula got converted into Pepsi drink. It's not like Coca-Cola that someone came only for making a drink. That's Pepsi's history. So having said that, let's come back to where I was on what is a woman of substance. So I just say that I'm a trainer, and I also do HR marketing. For example, Ericsson is a client, and head of HR in Ericsson, my client, is a lady, Priyanka Anand. And what I've understood, a lot of HR people, if they don't know one thing, is how to market themselves. So even if you just look at the LinkedIn profiles of HR people, you find them very bland. And the marketing starts from there. So having said that, so I transform women and help them understand their own power with themselves and how to market themselves. From corporate people to professors of Delhi University to principals of Delhi University colleges, I help them make business plans on entrepreneurship. So that's why I say I transform women and I tell them how to transform themselves. So, पंगा लेना सबसे पंगा लेना women से, I mean, take pangas from everyone, not from a woman. That's what I learned very early in life, right? And if you know malaria, is a female malaria. If she bites you, you had it. So that's what it is all about. So what does it make a woman of substance? I've coined this 5 S's of the woman of substance. It's very simple, you know. If you're not sensible, you're not there at all. It all starts with the difference between us and the animal on the street is our own brain, intelligence. We are the most intelligent beings on the earth. That's the reason we are gobbling up the earth also. Sensible, skillful, successful, and strong and soulful. You know, George Bernard Shaw, common sense is uncommon in common people. It's a very uncommon trait to have common sense. But I think the lady of the house, the woman of the house, is the most common sense oriented, wisdom oriented person. She may be uneducated, the grandmothers, the grandnannies. They may be uneducated, but the kind of wisdom they have, worldly wise wisdom, which is, I think, every lady needs to practice the art. Because that is what differentiates. Because on a lady's shoulder is riding the society. So she needs to be sensible. And if she's sensible as the first teacher of mankind, the world will be more sensible and common sense oriented. Very, very important. And all the sense is all around you. You just need to plug it in, right? And I've always believed simplicity is the best beauty. Simplicity in a woman is something which cuts across all kinds of complexities. Simplicity in approach, simplicity in your beauty, simplicity in your thoughts, simplicity in your action. And it's simplicity which is actually declutters her life. And she declutters her life for everyone around. So not only are you simple in your action, thought, but also I think a woman is a consultant also. She's an advisor. So she needs to advise people the power of simplicity, actually. And so it's, you know, simplicity, truthfulness, and transparency, they go side by side. And if you practice this art, you are the best wonderful woman of the world. And if you're a wonderful woman, you're creating a wonderful ecosystem around you. And that's the start of making a wonderful world. If you're not skillful, you're useless to the world, right? So I've always believed that God Almighty has made us incomplete with a reason, so that we need the other person to complete us. But for the other person to respect us, we need to be skillful. And it is a skill that gets us the money. So there is theory of comparative advantage. If you know, there's a country called Switzerland, right? What does it make? Chocolates. What does it make? Watches. But it makes watches and chocolates to the extent that everyone in the world goes after them. A chocolate which makes probably, I'm just not an economist, probably it takes them one 1 rupee to make it. But they sell it for 1,000 bucks, which means they can earn so much of money out of it that they can not only feed themselves, but also have a buffer there. Swiss people are also smart. They don't fight. They've always been a neutral nation. So all the money of the world pours into Swiss banks. So money is held there also. I'm not talking about, but just be skillful. And let me tell you, being skillful is a very happy state of mind also. Because when you're skilled, whether you're cooking food, or you're creating a business strategy, or bringing up a child, if you're skillful and you get the praise back from the world, which definitely you will, you only feel better. And when you feel better, you continue to exceed in your skillfulness. So that's very important. And this is something which I learned in India. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So practice, practice, practice. Irrespective of whatever you're doing, practice. So you're cooking food for your family, practice, give it to outside. The people who are challenged, make food, make them feel lovely about it. So it's very important to understand that you need to be excellently skillful irrespective of whatever you'll be doing. So you're a lawyer, you're a teacher, don't take your skills for granted. Continue to increase that. And as Deepti was saying, we're living in a very Google-oriented world. Irrespective of whatever you're doing, you can always come across experts in the world and always learn, because success and excellence is always continuously shifting target. You can always continue to improve yourself, and it's a fantastically rewarding journey to continuously improve yourself and being more skillful, right? And having said that, because as a lady, you are born and you're more genetically superior than men to be able to help people to understand people's problems, you need to be resourceful. Small story. So I have a father who's a bureaucrat. My mother's a teacher. And every 3 years, she's a government teacher. Every 3 years, she used to get transferred. And my father is a bureaucrat, very upright bureaucrat, daantne wale hain. So my father's contacts were all fathers. My mother's contacts were all mothers. So I'm talking donkey years back, we didn't have a telephone at home. And those days, telephone was a very big luxury. So while the minister would call up home and ask question and answer with my dad, he wouldn't sanction because my father was still not a director. He was just one step below. And we all needed, I wanted to talk to my girlfriends, my sister wanted to talk to their friends, and we needed a telephone in the house. So we didn't have the courage to tell my father to get a telephone through his contacts because his colleagues were directors. So we told our mother. My mother's colleague's husband was a director in P&T. Those days, P&T, telecom department was P&T. And we got a telephone line dug up. We didn't even fill the forms because a wife, which was my mother's colleague, prodded her husband. And my husband was a director. He got the telephone sanction. So that's the power of resourcefulness, connections. So when I started selling ceasefire on the streets of Delhi, I'd come from Navy. I did not know, and I had a target. So I couldn't sell for the first 1 week. I was dejected. What did my mother do? My mother took me to all her colleagues. You know what she used to say? Ye mera beta hai, ise khareed lo. That's my contacts. She, being she went to our neighborhood and said, ye mera beta hai, khareed lo. So I've always leveraged, and I'm a home food guy. I love to eat home food. And my mother's colleagues are all over Delhi. All over Delhi. So whichever place that I used to be feeling hungry, I used to go to the nearest auntie's house, open my tiffin box, and my auntie used to say, tiffin band kar, main tere liye fresh khana bana raha hu. So that's resourcefulness for that. So as a lady, you're so resourceful. So I've been living in my place in Pritampura. We are living in our own built house colony for last 25 years. And I've been married for 21 years. I'm known as my wife's husband. No one knows me. But my wife is a brand. I'm from Lucknow, she's from Allahabad. And majority of the vegetable vendors and fruit vendors and all these vendors are from UP. And she latches onto the UP guy and gets a 50% discount. So everyone knows me as Shilpa's husband. And no, I don't have an identity. So that's resourcefulness. So that's how it is. So you need to practice this resourcefulness. Very, very important. You've been born with it. You've been born to be skillful because who you are the teacher of mankind. You are compassionate, right? combining compassion with skillfulness and resourcefulness, you are born to be a super lady. Be that, right? Very, very important. And of course, I've always felt that www is not World Wide Web, it's Win with Web, right? So please, as ladies or girls or as women or as business leaders, use the web. Be connected. Be worldly wise. For whatever you do, whatever you write, just check what the world is saying, what the world is writing, and then alter your words, alter your vocabulary, alter your diction. Right? It's very, very important for you to be the best, whoever you are, right? Then, very, very important, 85% of our wakeful time we spend in our profession. So our reputation or our definition of ourselves is our work. So I'm a writer. If I'm not good and I'm not successful as a writer, I have no identity in the world. Because I've always believed that God Almighty is our CEO. And each one of us is our employee, right? And if you know the boss's 30% of the salary of a boss is delivered by his junior, right? Which is a fact of life. So if you are doing your best, you're moving the GDP, GNP, and it's going to come back to you. So it's very important for you to work towards your success, because when you're successful, it's a fantastic high that you have. Mind, body, and soul. You need to ensure, and this is something which I was taught in the armed forces, it's very important to be healthy and fit, because success starts, if you know, 65 to 70% of all fatalities in India are non-communicable diseases. There are two kinds of diseases, communicable diseases, infectious diseases, and which is lifestyle diseases, heart attacks, cancers, which are because of your laziness, which are because of your bad eating habits. So to be successful, you need to be very careful about what you do, excel, practice, be fit. Very, very important, right? So I'm saying, and it's an energy. When you succeed, you have a happy aura around you. People connect with you. For example, I know somehow I've been gifted with the ability to write. And because I write all kinds, so I've written love poems to impress girlfriends for friends. I've written letters which people have used to fight their bosses. I've written business plan for steering committee politicians because they never heard about a business plan, because of which gives me a huge database of people to reach out to, contacts. But if I'm not good at writing, if I'm not successful at writing, I'll not get that contact base. It's very important for you to be successful and to be happy in the space where you are. And it's easier said than done. It's very simple because you were born with that gift. You were born to succeed. And believe me, you can switch tracks. I used to be a naval officer. I never thought I could sell. I sold ceasefire in the streets of Delhi. I never thought. I hated IT. When I was doing my MBA, the marks of a computer class would never be put in my final degree. So during the computer class, I used to write poetry on the screen because I hated that computer. And as luck would have it, my first job, which is fast, high paying, was an IT company job. And I learned everything. For me, RAM was Bhagwan Ram and not RAM. But then I migrated. But I've been very lucky that I've worked for bosses who were 7 generations ahead of normal human beings. And I've always worked for the CEO. And that's how I learned. So it's very important for you, ladies, to be successful because you are the charge leaders of the world, of your family, of our universe. Very, very important, right? Being successful, skillful, all of that. And if you're weak, you had it. Epitome of strength is a lady. I don't know how many of you would agree, but I think in the heart of heart, 101% of you will agree, जब सबसे ज़्यादा डर लगता है ना, तो मुंह से सिर्फ माँ निकलता है. जब whenever you are so scared, what is going to happen next? It's near the death, you only think about your mother to protect you. And if the mother is weak, what will happen to the world? So your strength is the strength of the world, right? You got to be strong, psychologically, professionally, physically. If there is someone who's always working 24/7 and never complaining, it's the lady of the house. Firdaus was talking about 18 hours. She's also connected to a girl whose chart she's made. She's also leading 18 hours. And she's fighting a legal case. She's helping a depressed girl fight a case against her husband, which has been trying to kill her. So if she shows a weak heart there, what will happen to the client? If she shows a weak heart to her daughter, what will happen to her daughter? So it's very, very important for all of you women, whether you're professionals or housewives, whoever you are the epitome, you're the foundation of society. If you're not strong, we will totter and perish, actually. And it's simple to be strong because genetically you were born strong. Genetically you were born strong. Genetically you can absorb a lot of stuff and give strength. So it's one thing to be strong, another thing to radiate strength to outsiders. That is the ultimate strength test. That is what you need to do. You have to be strong, yes, whatever profession, whatever vocation you may be doing, but you need to radiate that strength. Because as I said, जब सबसे ज़्यादा डर लगता है, whenever you're afraid of the most, you are very, very fearful in life, you think about mother. So I was very poor in 11th standard. I was literally about to fail. And I'd given my ND examination. If you remember earlier days, you were 11th pass and you could pass. And if you failed in one subject, you failed in the damn class. And I was next to failing in mathematics. I couldn't understand mathematics. I used to play tennis. So it was my mother who went to the principal and then talked to the mathematics teacher and got my grades to 33% and passed, after which I joined NDA. So strength, mother, women. Very, very important. Please be strong, right? So I've written a lot. So stay strong. Always, you'll come across negative situations. There's always some positive after the negativity. For example, the very famous saying, the brightest sunlight happens after the darkest night. So every night will give way to the light. So that is how you need to be strong. Courage, conviction, commitment, and charisma. Last but not the least, the charisma happens because of strength only, right? So please be strong as possible. And as I said, please radiate that strength because you are the fountainhead of strength, right? It's very, very important. Having said everything, if you're not soulful, you're not there. You're just another piece of iron and wood. But you're a human. There is a soul inside you. There's a seat of God inside you. You have the power to understand. You are born. You are sent to this world to rear the world, to nurture the world. So you, of all beings, are expected to be soulful. You, of all beings, Kyare, divine Kyare, is to be soulful, mindful. And if you know, there is a saying, there's something called passion quotient. So, small, funny example. So I run about 10 to 15 kilometers every day. So if I can run at 10 kilometers an hour, say 15 kilometers on a normal day. But if there is a dog, a rabies infected dog running, I will run for 150 kilometers an hour, for 200 kilometers, still not pant. That is adrenaline coming from within. And that's soulfulness. So if you have passion, it's emotion quotient, EQ plus IQ. Plus IQ again, which is inspiration quotient. is what passion quotient is, which is what being soulful. So there's so many attributes which will be mentioned out here. So so if someone comes up with a problem to you, and so your mind is full, you're busy, or you're mindful, which means you help the person, right? So practice that mindfulness. And let me tell you, so I have a concept which I grew up because my mother taught me this. I call it karmic currency and karmic credits. Every good deed that you do gets translated into a currency which is credited in your karmic account, and you encash that in terms of miracles when you need it the most, because the accountant, which is God Almighty, is noting in his passbook. So it's very simple for all of us to accumulate those karmic currency and credits, so we're able to encash that. For example, you start for a meeting 20 minutes late, and the person that you're going to meet is a sadist of the highest order, and he will berate you if you even are 2 seconds late. You start 20 minutes late, 30 red lights are all green. You reach 5 minutes before time. The sadist has been stuck in a traffic jam. And when you started, you were thinking you will have to say sorry to that guy. That guy is saying sorry to you, apologizing, because of which you win the contract. That's your karmic credits. And it's very simple. So there's an astrologer which not because of her astrology, because I love the way she talks about general life. She says, as anyone, you need to fix 1% or any percentage of whatever monthly earnings that you have and give it to a needy person. In Hindi, it's called palanhar. Sorry, I don't know the English translation of that, which means that give a percentage of whatever you earn to people you think are economically challenged, or you help them. But make it a point to give a percentage, not a fixed money. Because your percentage will go up, your earnings will go up or go down. Give a percentage, and you will get that karmic currency coming back to your account. If you give 10 rupees, you'll come back, you'll get 100 rupees. And that's a guarantee. Another thing is, for those people who have got children, I've got daughters. So I met a Panditji who told me a simple case. So he also had twin daughters. According to astrology, his daughters were not supposed to go for higher education. So to remove that dosh, he started a school in a very remote village, because of which he said, my daughters got educated and they're now working abroad. So when I started teaching in Delhi University as a visiting faculty way back in 2003, I used to work in a BPO. I used to come back at 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night, and my class used to be damn at 9 o'clock. To be able to reach at Delhi University at 9 o'clock, I had to wake up at 6 o'clock, right? So if you're reaching at 2 o'clock and waking up at 6 o'clock to take a session of MBA students is challenging. But I was always reminded of the karmic credits, which my Panditji also taught. He said, if you take care of someone's child, your child is taken care of by him, which has also happened. Because 4 years back, when my daughter was challenged for Delhi University admission, the college that I teach is one of the famous colleges of Delhi University. I got an admission because there's a tradition that teachers' wards are given green signal out there. So she had a low percentage. One daughter had 90%, the other had 88%. And the one who got 88% was crying because she said, Delhi University with a milna nahi hai. And I had booked a ticket in NIT University and Shiv Nadar University thinking usko to milaga nahi. But because I was teaching, and let me tell you, it was very painful to teach, and after 3 years or 4 years of teaching, I thought I would quit. But when I meditated in the evening, I got an in-tone, don't you dare quit. Thrice it came to me. And the reason was, I realized after 10 years. So I'm saying just go out and help people with a soulful attitude, and the help is going to come back to you when you need it the most. And it's a free currency out there. It's all floating around the universe. And let me tell you, the easiest way to feel good is to do good. And there are two kinds of companies out there. There's a Fortune 500 company which has earned so much of damn money that's in the ranking. And there are other companies which are do good companies. So there's Ratan Tata, there's Mukesh Ambani. Who is more famous? If you know Warren Buffett, he stays in 3 BHK house. Narayan Murthy, 3 BHK house. Narayan Murthy's duty is to wash dishes and take out the clothes from washing machine. They have one car in the house. When Narayan Murthy goes out for a meeting, Sudha Murthy, his wife, takes an auto with a secretary. So that's soulfulness. Don't waste money. Use that money to make someone's life better. Use your expertise to make someone's life happier. And the more you give your expertise, the more good things will come to your life. That's soulfulness for you. And having said that, I'm just going to run you through some basic facts of life which are more apparent as a woman. Right? So if you don't transform yourself, you will not fly. And so I'm the most unfashionable person in the world. But God Almighty sent me the most fashionable souls, 2 daughters of mine, who are passing in front of a polished wall and they'll stop and look at themselves. And when we go for a wedding, they wear some special clothes. They have to spend half an hour clicking those selfies with the fashionable clothes. So that's what I'm saying. So if, as a lady, each lady wants to be beautiful. And to be able to be beautiful, to be able to be a butterfly, you need to transform. Very, very important, right? So do that. Do transform yourself using the 5 S's that I talked about. Skillfulness, soulfulness, strength. There is no lady anywhere in the world who is not fond of jewels. The diamonds and the gold is within you. Just uncover them, right? And you don't have to go to Queen of England. The Kohinoor is with you. Be witty, be strong, don't just be beautiful. So it's a long thing, that's what it talks about. Innate beauty is what you're looking at. So you'll come across a lot of people. Those people who are calm from within, who are helpful always, they have a very shining, smiling aura on their face. And you forget the looks. All you remember is a shining, beautiful aura. Whenever you think of Mother Teresa, you think of a beautiful lady. You don't think about the wrinkles that she had, right? Bring that innate aura, bring that innate beauty outside. That is the beauty that people want. But if you bring that, the Lakmes will not have any business then. So that is what should be. You should be known through your soulfulness, through your qualities actually, right? And that is a woman of substance that if each one of us became a woman of substance, just imagine where the world would be. And if everyone became a woman of substance, there will never be a World War III. Imagine had Hillary Clinton, the woman, been the president, Trump nahi hota, the USA would have been a far better country, right? Let's hope Hillary becomes the next president. Last but not the least, it's a circle. So don't ever be so outside dependent. Also think that, you know what, you need to have a wisdom of the world. I was discussing with a person out here. I'll just share a small anecdote. I have a client in New York. She's from Romania. So she was saying that there are only 2 ancient civilizations in the world, and we need to learn, we need to bring the wisdom, age-old wisdom from there to the world. One is Europe, the other is Asians. If you know, Australia was a Kala Pani. All the life convicted people used to be thrown to Australia. And USA is those sets of people who actually left for whatever reasons. They couldn't survive in Europe, they came to. And USA also, the traditional Indians had fantastic wisdom. They could see a cloud and could understand. They did not need a supercomputer to do analysis when the rain is going to come. By just looking at the cloud, and they had medical systems also there. No one gets to know them. Similarly, there are Aborigines in Australia. No one gets to hear about them. That's traditional medicine out there, right? They're traditional art. So if you have a match in New Zealand, there's a Maori dance happening there. So having said that, let's bring forth the ancient wisdom, fuse it with modern technology, and live a better soulful life. And let's all, us men, learn from women, and all women be soulful supporters for the world. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to India's first corporate news channel. We invite interviews, articles, press releases from your organization. Visit our portal www.indianconventions.com. Thank you.